The possible hazards we could see.
And NOAA's revealed their newest hurricane outlook, which calls for an overactive season. We have an in-depth explanation and a current look at the tropics still ahead.
Plus, we continue to take you around the country to places that have experienced severe weather and how they're beginning the cleanup process.
WBRC Fox 6 News. First Alert Weather Extra starts now.
Welcome into First Alert Weather Extra. I've just got to say something that we're working on for you is we're wanting to bring some scenes of the elusive Cahaba lilies.
Yes.
Just got to mention, Lauren had an adventure yesterday, but we promised to bring you that story.
I did. It was very interesting, but we are going to be bringing you the full details of that story.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I am on dry landing. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, let's just say we had a flat tire, okay?
Something like that. Something was flat.
All right, we'll tell you more about that, though, and it's great to have Lauren Tania back joining us here right now. The next big thing that we're going to be talking about, we do have storms coming back tomorrow that we're going to watch out for. AccuTrack radar at this time, no rain showing up at the moment. Temperatures right now around 83 in Tuscaloosa, 84 in Birmingham. We're at 83 in Anniston. Later on tonight, it's going to stay hot. It's going to stay mainly dry for us, but some rain could come back around here late tonight. At this moment, we're tracking some severe weather once again just north of Alabama across parts of Tennessee. There was a tornado warning not far from the Knoxville area that you can see, but those storms are staying north of us. But I know a lot of folks like to go to the Gatlinburg area this time of the year for the holiday weekend. If you are traveling, know someone in that area, make sure they're paying attention to the WBRC First Alert Weather app. Back to the west, we do have more storms developing back into Louisiana, so this is well west of us at the moment. Some of this could work in here after midnight, so I'm thinking we could see some showers later on tonight, and then as we go into the day tomorrow, storms will return during the afternoon. So might wake up to maybe a couple of lingering showers, maybe an isolated storm to the north, but watch it as it heats up tomorrow. We have that possibility some of those storms in the afternoon and evening could be severe. Gusty winds, some hail producers. This is just some of the model guidance, but you can kind of get the idea. Tomorrow night, we'll really have to watch for these clusters of storms organizing and developing further south into the evening, and as that happens, that's when we really could see some of those gusty winds, mainly after 5 o'clock. Now, the timing varies on this. This isn't one of those situations where you just say it's going to happen 6 to 8, because we could end up with one round during the early evening, but we could end up with more storms dropping in from the north later on tonight. Just know those rain chances will ramp up late in the day tomorrow. And it looks like right now we have a nice little break that will happen during the day, especially into the afternoon. Those temperatures will rise into the upper 80s. The heat index could top 95 out there starting tomorrow. Certainly going to feel hot this weekend. Notice the rain chances start to ramp up again by late Sunday and into Monday. Might actually be some more rain Monday night. So we have that chance for likely storms at times over the next couple of days. We've certainly gotten by with dry weather for most of the week, and certainly the temperatures not too out of control, but now we're starting to feel that summer-like heat across our area. And speaking of summer-like heat, we know we're getting closer to hurricane season, and that outlook we've been long awaiting has arrived. Lauren?
Yeah, Wes, unfortunately, this confirms what we were thinking could be the case. An above-average hurricane season is being forecast by the National Hurricane Center and NOAA. And one thing to note about this is the highest number of storms that have been predicted on record with the May outlook. So could be a very active season. And what they're saying is that there is an 85% chance we could see an above normal season. So what does that mean for us here in central Alabama? We'll have to watch out for any landfalling systems. On average, during a typical hurricane season, you get 14 named storms, 7 hurricanes, and 3 major hurricanes. That's category 3 or higher. But what NOAA is predicting, based on certain conditions in place, 17 to 25 named storms, 8 to 13 hurricanes, and 4 to 7 major hurricanes. Now, Colorado State also has great tropical researchers on their staff, and they also release an outlook. And you can see it's actually very similar to NOAA's forecasting an above average season. So let's talk about the science behind the forecast. Why is it looking like this? Why will it be so active? We're going from an El Nino to La Nina. And what that does is causes less wind shear in the Atlantic Basin, which can lead to tropical development. But also we have above average ocean heat content, which serves as storm fuel. What is La Nina? Well, it's called a teleconnection, and that means what happens in one part of the ocean in another part of the world can affect weather conditions happens in the ocean in another part of the world as well. So when you have below average sea surface temperatures off of the west coast of South America, due to stronger trade winds, that's La Nina. Those are La Nina conditions taking place, which can lead to less wind shear, a favorable environment for tropical development in the Atlantic Basin. But if we look across the Atlantic Basin, which includes the Atlantic Ocean, the Caribbean Sea, and the Gulf of Mexico, right now temperatures are running above average for this time of the year. What do you need for tropical development? You need low wind shear. That is talking about the difference in wind speed or direction as you go up in height in the atmosphere. If winds are more uniform, that can allow a storm to strengthen and organize. And if you have more heat content, that allows for more storm fuel. And right on cue, we are actually tracking a disturbance as we speak out in the Atlantic Ocean. You can see that there is a 10% chance, a low chance, that we could see some potential tropical development with an area of low pressure that is trying to develop around Cuba. Now, a 10% chance, that's a pretty low chance, but as we go forward in time with hurricane season, which begins on June 1st, we're going to want to watch specific areas just like these, Wes.
All right, and the first name on the list is Alberto, so we'll wait on that system to develop. As we continue right here on Weather Extra, we continue our discussion on the upcoming hurricane season, and I want to continue the discussion we had with Dr. Laura Myers from the University of Alabama as she talks about how hurricanes have, of course, impacted us here across central Alabama. What would you say with hurricane season coming up, some of the insights you can provide on hurricane information, tropical weather, and the perspective from central Alabama?
From central Alabama, the biggest issue is these hurricanes are getting stronger. And so these are Cat 4 and Cat 5 storms that are rapidly intensifying mostly these days. And so they can get to us. They can get into central Alabama. We've seen several storms go far inland into places that people didn't anticipate they could have such strong impacts. And we also, from central Alabama, we go to the coast a lot.
Right.
And so we need to be prepared when we go to the coast to deal with the hurricane warning information. And especially if you're a tourist, you really need to understand your safety issues when you go. And so what we've really learned about hurricane warnings is you want to focus on what the National Hurricane Center is putting out and then what everybody else is doing with that information and looking at that cone of uncertainty. They've modified the cone of uncertainty to make it more explainable to people, and they're going to be putting that out this year.
You put a lot of time into this, a lot of research, and I know a lot of the information you provided has certainly helped us out and help us know what's most important. You know, we want to provide useful information to help you at home, and as you continue to do these studies, I guess one of the key takeaways as well out of all this is, first of all, just check the weather, right?
That's right. You want to stay connected to that weather information, you know, because the Storm Prediction Center puts those outlooks out very early in the process, and you guys share that information, put that information out there. And you want to be careful of that because you can't check in just once. You've got to keep checking in. Go back to the source of your information and find out what's changed because, as we all know, it changes constantly.
Dr. Myers does some incredible work here and has looked at so many big events from the active hurricane seasons that we've had, the Snowmageddon of 2014, we'll never forget that, right? And also the tornado outbreak of 2011. But we'll talk more with Dr. Myers, and we're going to talk more about tropical weather. In fact, if you're heading down to the coast this weekend, Lauren's coming right back. We have a live look from Panama City right now. Looks good out there. We'll check in on that beach forecast after the break. Stay with us.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan. First Alert AccuTrack. Quiet now across central Alabama. We've got a partly cloudy sky as we're headed towards sunset. It's still warm out there, not unbearable. As we go through the evening, still going to be warm and humid, and those rain chances pretty slim. But we do have that first alert for them going up as we head into Memorial Day weekend. But you may be thinking, hey, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be down by the coast. Memorial Day weekend, that Gulf Coast forecast, which I actually want to pull up for you right here, is showing the potential for nice dry conditions. Check it out. The thing is, though, if you look at that and say, oh, temperatures are in the 80s, it's going to feel real nice. Well, you're going to the Gulf of Mexico, and the Gulf of Mexico makes things 10 times more humid than they would be otherwise. So feels like temperatures could actually be in the 90s, but not seeing a chance of storms there. However, we do have that first alert for storms back here in central Alabama, Tania.
Thanks, Lauren. Plus more severe weather really from past couple of weeks have been happening in areas like Texas, where severe storms tore through the Temple community. Take a look at these images from our sister station, KWTX. These storms moved through Wednesday evening, where a tornado was confirmed by the National Weather Service. Over 60,000 people were left without power as a result. The National Weather Service in Fort Worth conducting a storm survey today. And this footage also coming from our sister station from the inside of Temple Mall. You can see the high winds blowing through windows and bringing in debris. Crazy video there. This city issued a disaster declaration after the storm, but thankfully there were no reported fatalities. And in parts of Nebraska, while they continue to deal with tornado damage, recent storms brought another round of damage to clean up. Jill Lampkin spoke to neighbors about the heavy rain that brought floodwater inside their homes.
This was all full of water.
Colleen Samarito woke up to water in her home.
And then our basement, but we ripped out all the carpet already, so.
She says she was feeling pretty lucky with only minor damage from the tornado until flooding hit her home.
I just hope I get a break and today's storm doesn't bring something else. It's just been a lot in the last month.
Colleen and neighbors are doing what they can to clean up. Brandon Baxter did what he could to prevent floodwater from getting into his house.
I grabbed what bags of mulch that I could, and I started using those as sandbags to block the doorway to keep the water from getting into the main house. And I'm very lucky that I didn't have any serious property damage.
Another incident right outside the neighborhood left a family stuck in a ditch while water filled their car. Now all these neighbors are holding their breath, hoping another storm doesn't come.
And a confirmed EF1 tornado ripped through Rolling Stone, Minnesota as well. This is from the Rolling Stone area where some buildings were damaged, including a gas station and a barn. Fortunately, no reports of any injuries. And in Mexico, dozens are injured and there are at least 9 fatalities after a stage collapse during a severe thunderstorm. This happened Wednesday night during a political rally held in Nuevo Leon. The National Meteorological Society in Mexico saying that during the rally, severe storms with damaging winds, hail, and a potential tornado were moving through the area. Officials reporting that strong winds did contribute to the collapse. Weather stations north of San Pedro recorded gusts as high as 48 miles per hour on Wednesday night during the severe thunderstorms. Oh my goodness, that's terrifying video. Well, still ahead, we continue to talk about the storm chances as we head into Memorial Day weekend, and meteorologist Tania Michelle takes you beyond the 7-day. We'll be right back.
Welcome back into First Alert Weather Extra. Live look from Tuscaloosa right now, 83 degrees. And there we go. Get those boats ready. It's going to be a big weekend here coming up. I know a lot of folks are going to be out on the lake this weekend. Certainly be safe out there. And don't forget the sunscreen. I know we're talking about a chance for storms, but there will be some sun in the mix as well. Right now we've got some high clouds moving in. We've had a lot of storm activity still tracking north of Alabama and to the west of Alabama. Right now most of the storms are north and west of us, but later on tonight some of that could bring a shower later on. We do have more sun breaking through here at Jacksonville. Lovely view there at JSU, and it's 82 degrees, and you can just tell by that camera view the haze is not off the charts right now, so it's still not as humid, but over the weekend we will start to see that humidity kick in even for us here across East Alabama. A little bit cooler though to the north. Centers at 77, Coleman as well as Hamilton there, where we had some of those isolated showers there early on today that we were tracking. But this evening, at least for now, next few hours, dry weather. If you're about to head out, run some errands this evening, you can see there if you want to get a walk in, looks good until tomorrow morning. Could be some isolated showers and storms left over from the rain that we're seeing back to the west. So we'll start out the day, need to check the radar early on. Most of us should be in okay shape early on, but to the north especially, there might be a shower or two early on. But notice we have tomorrow dry weather during the day. Temperatures will be rising into the 80s there. We'll see afternoon highs in the upper 80s. The heat index could top 95 degrees in some areas, but we really got to watch it after 4 or 5 o'clock. To the north, we could start to see some of these storms develop and drop in. Some of these could produce some gusty wind, some hail, so we do have that risk for a strong to severe storm. And then notice even tomorrow night, late tomorrow night, more storms. You see that? Could drop in from the north, so need to just really watch it, that window there through late tomorrow afternoon, through tomorrow evening and overnight. I think Saturday morning, if some of this is still around during the early morning, as this model suggests, that's going to limit just what we see later on in the day. It's going to help to bring down those temperatures a bit. So that could certainly impact what happens later on Saturday. I still think we'll see those rain chances back off a bit Saturday, but as we heat up again on Sunday, the rain chances will come back. But let's talk about the long range, and long range data, still trying to get a good handle on that Memorial Day picture, but I think late Sunday and Monday you can see the guidance has the idea of more of these storms. You see that trying to develop and drop in, so just watch it later in the weekend, especially by Sunday evening, again into Monday night perhaps, and early on Tuesday. So that's why we have those rain chances there around 60% Sundays, mostly for the evening and into the overnight. But getting a much better handle on that weekend forecast. Certainly the hot weather is here to stay, and it was a hot day in Tuscaloosa, and it was a hot day on the dance floor. I was down at Shelton State Community College, and we had Senior Appreciation Day. This is put on by the West Alabama Area Agency on Aging, and there was a huge crowd there, over 870 in attendance today. We had so many prizes and giveaways, TVs, a lot of donations made to the organization. This is a big deal. We've been doing this for several years. I've been a part of it, and just always enjoy. Actually, today had an opportunity, Tania, for the first time to take the guitar and played a few songs there, and I actually played some of the weather songs there today, so we had a lot of fun. My question for you, Wes, is did you do the boogie dance? Yeah, we did the twist. We had the twist off contest out there today. Yeah,
So Wes was out on that dance floor.
Hey, we had the twist contest, and let me tell you this, they had a Simon Says game. And, you know, we finally got the Simon Says group down to just enough to fill up the dance floor. Okay. And let me tell you, when it comes to Simon Says, the senior citizens have it figured out. Because
they understand.
That game like to never ended. But we finally made it. We finally found a winner.
I love it. Yeah. Okay, it's safe to say they understood the assignment, but they may not understand that one, but that's okay. Here we are looking at our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. We've got a wide range of how it could possibly feel as far as temperatures as we approach the end of this month and early June. Near average for the Pacific Northwest, further Pacific Northwest and parts of Washington, below average temperatures. A lot of the central states across the U.S. seeing more above average temperatures down towards New Mexico, Arizona, and Texas. But for us here at home, you know it, above average temperatures to near average temperatures for central Alabama as we begin the month of June. So there is some more below average further out to the east, but that just means they're going to be a little cooler than what they would on the average scale. As far as rainfall, here's a look at that 6 to 10 7-day rainfall outlook as we approach the first couple days of June across the U.S. Anywhere from near average for the Pacific Northwest to below average for parts of California and Nevada, but above average for a lot of those central states from Texas all the way up north to Minneapolis. But as we look across the southeast, more below average rainfall. Now, does that mean we won't see any rain? Absolutely not. It just means on average we could be seeing a little less. So that means likely getting hotter a lot quicker and dry, okay? But as we look beyond the 7-day, here's a look at when we can see our next rain chances beyond what you see on our 7-day forecast. As we approach the end of May, it looks like some showers and possible storms to our south around May 28th. Another pause here. We bring in the first couple of days of June, or really close to it, May 31st, last day of May. Another chance for some rain and storms. That's on a Friday. So could see a little wet into our work week next weekend, or really next week. And then we bring in June 3rd, another chance for rain and storms. And that is a Monday. So not this upcoming Monday, but the next one. That's beyond the 7-day. So that's just a average, or really just a prediction of what could happen as we look beyond the 7-day forecast. Keep in mind things can and possibly will change. But you're watching First Alert Weather Extra. Don't go anywhere. We'll have more First Alert Weather Extra right here after the break.
One final look at Weather Extra. How about
hey.
these beautiful photos, Wes, of snow?
Snow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's so pretty, though.
A spoiler alert, that's not here. That was actually in Montana. So if you want to head up to Montana, enjoy 29-degree weather. This kind of looks a little bit more our speed.
Oh, yeah. That's spring-like.
Yes.
Norma Bryan, a lake in Guntersville.
That's beautiful. And then our dear weather watcher, Tyler Young, with this moonrise
view.
over
Me
Trussville.
too.
I don't know. It almost is giving spooky season
Yeah, you know, we have that full moon coming up here. so-
It's coming up.
Right, and then can't beat a beautiful sunset by the water in Dauphin Island. Thanks to Brian Watkins.
Brian Watkins getting an early start on us. You know, he's already at the beach out there.
Already out there. He said, I heard it's going to rain here. Let me head down.
I know. Everyone's like, all right, that's my excuse. Go to the beach.
Yep, peace out.
Y'all have fun in central Alabama. So, yeah, that's the thing this weekend, guys. First alert for storms.
Yes.
Yeah, those rain chances, you know, wish we could have timed it out a little better, but it's that time of year, right? Very summer-like. So you're heading out to the lake, to the pool this weekend. We need to watch it. Still looks like tomorrow night or late tomorrow, some of those storms dropping in. You guys have been also, you know, looking at some of that data coming in. We need to watch Sunday night and a Monday for more of those scattered storms, but the heat, it's here to stay.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And
It is.
we technically have a cold front coming through on Monday.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's a very tricky word this time of year. By
is.
definition, we have to say cold front because it's a little bit of a change in the wind direction,
Yeah,
but
right.
not the kind of cold front we're thinking
yeah,
about. Right?
no, it may not be quite as ridiculously muggy as we get into the middle of the week.
And we're
but-
talking maybe a few low 80s instead of those upper 80s, low 90s.
Ooh, yeah, really exciting.
We need to hold it right here. Starting to
Yeah.
get hot out there. We'll tell you more, though, tonight. We've got rain chance updates, and we'll probably be tracking some wet weather to the west at 9 o'clock. So we'll see you back here later this evening.